I think it's an easy transition. It's what I know. It's what I've been doing for a very long time. I think the key for me is I draw from all the great coaches that I've had in the past at all different levels, from high school to college to professional level. And I've always in the back of my mind thought about my style and who I would like to be like. Kind of creating my own style. But so it's going to be, I believe, a seamless transition in terms of the football part. I think the part naturally that's going to be a little bit more difficult is the administrative part. That's where I don't have a ton of experience, but it's a learning process. I'll have great support here on campus and off campus, and so I don't see it being an issue. Truly, because the opportunity presented itself. We were kind of in a tweener position as a family. We were actually getting ready to move out of the area, and we could just feel something really working in our lives, and we were trying to figure all that out, and I got to say, at times it wasn't real easy. We were trying to figure out exactly what that looked like, and when this opportunity came up, my phone just went crazy. I mean, guys that I had heard from in a long time just were sending me messages saying, "This is perfect for you. I think you do a great job here." And so I thought a lot about it, prayed about it, and it just felt right. It felt like now's the time, and it was one of those few schools where I felt like we could do something special. I mean, special that all the way down from administrative to parents to players and coaches, something that we can all be really proud of. When kids leave this program, they're not only getting all those things you get from football, the character and the all the leadership, but also the fact of being a part of something that's greater than themselves. It's imperative that we figure out what we got here. I've got to get with these kids and start meeting them personally, individually, as a group. We got to get on the field and start figuring out what we have. I've spent a lot of time watching tape already to this point, so I think I have a basic idea. But until you're out there in the middle of it and you're putting kids through drills, you really don't know exactly what you have. So that's number one. We gotta see the talent level, what's here. And then we're gonna have to, fill some gaps, and we'll get that from some of the younger kids, hopefully from some of the kids coming into the program, that sort of thing. So the short term is just kind of assessing everything and helping them really put together an off-season program that's going to help them, get to where we want to get. And then, of course, the fall, we got to execute in the fall. And then I think we're going to build a really cool pipeline of a place where kids can, will come up through and be successful. Yeah, there's no question. I mean, if you live in the Central Valley and you know anything about football, you know about this kid. He's obviously a special talent. They don't come along very often. He's got the body. From everything I hear, he's got a wonderful family. I think that's kind of where all this starts. He's a great kid. I spent a few minutes talking to him out here, after the interview, and I was so impressed with him. I've watched a lot of tape on him. I think there's some little tips that we can give him to help him, even play better than he has. But most importantly, I'm not interested in getting in his way. I want the kid to play. Sky's the limit for him. I want to see him reach all his goals. And I think, if we just teach him how to practice right, give him some little tips, I think the kid's just going to skyrocket this year. One of the biggest is Guy Benjamin. He's a former All-American at Stanford. He was my coach at Hawaii. I spent literally 12 months with him where, it was he and I and a few other players in a room learning football. That's really what I attribute my football knowledge to. The guy is brilliant football mind. And it's guys like that, Guy Benjamin and Fred Von Oppen. He was my head coach. I just learned so much from some of those guys. Kenny Marjoram was my receiver coach at Hawaii. So I've been very blessed in that aspect. When I was at Pacific, we didn't win a lot of games, but I'll tell you what, there were some phenomenal coaches that came through that used it as a stepping stone. And you gain a little bit of something from all those coaches. In fact, the head coach that just took the Maryland job, Mike Loxley. He was their GA at Pacific when I was there. Stayed in touch with him for a lot of years. Wonderful guy. Went on to Alabama now. So it's just, Rhodes at UCLA was the DB coach on our team, and I stay in touch with him. So, the network is there. And again, I take a piece of all those guys, and then, of course, put my touch on it. We'll have to see. Look, this is the important part, is that people got to know that, yes, Beau's my son, and obviously, I want to support him in all his dreams and goals. But at the end of the day, my obligation is going to be to Modesto Christian and winning football games and doing the right thing. And that means if there's other quarterbacks on campus, they absolutely have a shot at that job. We're going to open it up to competition, just like every position. We'll assess that as we go along, and we'll make the best choices for Modesto Christian.